gets another break point, does Sergi Bruguera.
Avantage Bruguera.
1 of 13 now for Sergi Bruguera. This is very important to try to get off to a good start. These guys are really putting a lot of effort into this. Look like, they're starting to sound a little bit like Monica Seles here out on center court. Although, from what I understand, Monica's cut back on her grunting.
Well, it's a more stylish grunt, I think. It's a double clutch. And we wish her back soon. We miss her.
Great point here by both players. Bruguera preparing for that big inside-out forehand. Hits the net, unfortunately. Gives Courier the time to hit that pass down the line. Getting back to Monica Seles, but I'm a little bit disappointed in the Women's Tennis Association that they took her #1 ranking away because of this incident. She's clearly been the top player in the world the last couple of years. It seems like they should have made some sort of adjustment for that.
Would you have frozen it? That's what
I personally would have. Very, very unusual, and hopefully a circumstance that will never happen again.
The proposition was put to the players, and they voted against it.
Well, I'm not surprised the players voted it down. That means they go up 1 spot, possibly in the rankings, if she stays out a year or so. Let's hope she gets back soon, because she's clearly been playing the best tennis in the last few years.
Only double fault of the day for Jim Courier, but it takes him into break point 4 in this game. After Bruguera, what a pair of games in succession. 5 deuces for Bruguera, and now Courier in 4 and a 4th break point. Watch out for the net.
Well, Bud, now we see it's only 1 out of 15 breakpoint chances. He's feeling the pressure. He knows how important it is to get on top early in the 3rd set. He's only pushing that forehand return back and hitting it way too short.
Very
clearly, he should. Sorry, but clearly he should have broken it at least 2 or 3 more times.
Well, you would think so, and that has to weigh on him very heavily. 2 successive 5-deuce games. Most unusual.
Well, let's give credit to Jim Courier, though. He's, as I've said before, the toughest player on the tour mentally. He's playing the big points extremely well.
Well, he says it's my title, and take it if you can. Sergi.
Well, he certainly loves that inside-out forehand. It hits it extremely well. Waits for his opportunity. Extremely short ball. Didn't hit this one quite as deep as he would like, but a fine overhead to get to his 15th breakpoint opportunity.
5th in the game.
Excuse me, 16th. I'm losing count. There's so many.
More break points than pigeons flying around here. All right, he thought it was a fault. LaRue Gascoigne comes out. I thought it hit the line, and we're right on that line.
Bruno's going to get out of his chair.
Bruno needs his exercise. About time, Bruno. You haven't been out here. Oh, and Bruno says it was out. Overrules. Gascoigne. Well, what do you think?
Well, it's certainly difficult to tell from this particular angle, but Jim Courier didn't have much to say about it, so I think he saw that the ball was out.
Second ball, break point.
But it's getting to be an epidemic for Sergi Bruguera.
6 deuces, 5 break points repelled in this game alone.
As we see him talking to himself here.
S'il vous plaît.
You had some pretty good soliloquies, John, in your day.
I talk to myself and a few other people while I play. Try to keep people interested.
On that one, the swinging volley.
Well, Bud, Sergi Bruguera is bringing out some tools I didn't know existed in his repertoire. Look at this. He takes the ball in the air, a swinging volley a la Andre Agassi.
Not recommended.
Well, it's not recommended for the average player, but that was an excellent play by Bruguera.
Break point 6.
Right on the line. And on the line again.
Line and cleaned the spot.
Unbelievable.
Bruguera says, what do I have to do to get a break point?
Look at this point.
I thought he missed it until it hit.
That one was an inch from the line, so he's probably disappointed with himself. That one hit the line. Now look at this overhead on the other line. Bruguera doesn't know what to think right now. He's looking at his father, saying, hey, I played a good point. I didn't lose this one.
7th deuce. It's wide.
Avantage Bruguera.
But this is going to be a very key game for Sergi Bruguera.
Well, 7's supposed to be a lucky number, and here's break point 7.
I don't know what he'll think if he won't be able to break here. 1 of 17. He needs to boost his morale just a little bit, and this will be a perfect way to do it. And that, I think, is the tension he's feeling from the fact that he hasn't been able to capitalize. That was a very makeable pass. Once again, another case where he should have at least made Courier play the volley. A little bit short on the return. A good approach by Jim Courier, but not a great one, allowing Bruguera an opportunity to at least hit that pass, and clearly feeling the tension on that point.
21st point of the game. It's the first game of the pivotal 3rd set. Courier has had 1 game point. Bruguera, 7 of them. A test of wills, if there ever has been one in this match.
Test of shoulder strength for Jim Courier. He's been serving an awful long time, putting a lot of effort into it. Both players hitting the ball with a lot of pace. Jim Courier attacking once again. Not deep enough there. Bruguera took his time. He should try to remember all the deuce points he's been playing. Deuce, he's unbeatable.
8th. Break point coming up.
Short backswing, good preparation.
For the 22-year-old Barcelonan. Finds the sideline and the lead as we begin the 1st set. You like it, Papa?
The 1993 French Open is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Merrill Lynch. For clients around the world, we make a difference. The difference is Merrill Lynch. And by MasterCard. MasterCard. It's more than a credit card. It's smart money.
Dans l'axe du court derrière les joueurs, rapidement s'il vous plaît.
Did anything bend there, John? Jim Courier holding off Bruguera, but in that mammoth game, 18 minutes, 8 deuces. Bruguera finally scored his second break point out of 19 chances.
Well, but I think it was a far bigger game for Sergi Bruguera. Big boost for his confidence there. Finally, after 19 break point opportunities, finally to get a second one under his belt. It's been a long time coming.
Incredible passage. Deuces over 2 games. And Courier would like to retrieve that right away. The old Pasco Pirate.
It'll be interesting to see how it affects the two
Mammoth
players.
State, what about it, John?
The next game, this particular one would be very interesting. This Courier can get right back into it. Traditionally, it's always the best time to break back, the next game.
Love 15-second ball.
You can better believe that when the match is over, those two players will be talking about that game as a possible turning point in this match. Especially if Bruguera, by some chance, is able to come through and win this. A little bit of gamesmanship going on out there.
Clearly a fault, although the people to Bruguera's right would have seen it as good.
But I'll tell you something, they're hitting an awful lot of lines right now. Here is Jim Courier attacking once again. Hits his volley in the line. Too good a pass though by Sergi Bruguera. Great effort by Courier, just missing. Continues his attacking style. There's a little bit of machoism here. Great effort by Courier here. Bruguera runs up. Jim guesses right, but it looked to me like he was trying to hit Sergi with that ball. Better serve, just putting it away cross court.
40-15 coming up.
Nice little touch by Sergi Bruguera. Both players showing a lot of quickness around the court.
On the line. And Bruguera has the first 2 games.
Excellent job by Sergi Bruguera there, bud. Played a long game.
Sergi Bruguera, who has won 1 tournament this year, Monte Carlo, which is a big clay court test. Lost the final of Milan and the final of Barcelona.
He looks a bit fatigued.
Looks like he's dying, but that's customary for him.
But he must have a shot of adrenaline from that break of serve in the previous game.
37 wins, 13 losses, his match record this year.
Thought maybe Sergi's taking some lessons from Mary Jo Fernandez. She quite often looks to be completely exhausted, only to hit a couple of screaming winners in the successive points.
As she did yesterday in a magnificent bid to unseat Steffi Graf. Mary Jo Fernandez, 3rd set, led 4-3, 30-15 on her own serve. Couldn't quite make it.
That's a big return thought by Sergi Bruguera. Timed that perfectly. As we see here. hits the ball a lot harder off the backhand return, surprisingly enough. As I said before, he really just blocks that forehand return back because he's stuck with that backhand grip. Doesn't have time to change it. Only in the second serve can he run around and hit that wicked topspin forehand. Jim Courier comes right back with a fine first serve up the middle. But you don't hear Jim Courier groaning quite as much as he is today. But look at this forehand here at winner. As he said before in an interview a couple days ago, he's in the finals now. He can let it all hang out, and he really appears to be doing that, putting all his effort into every stroke.
He's behind in the third set. They're one set all. Ace! That's his third. So Bruguera has a 2-1 lead.
Bruguera mène par 2 jeux à 1.
Dan Hicks back at Roland Garros with Jim Courier's other coach, Jose Higueras. Do you think the longer this match goes on, Jose, it'll favor Jim because he's so physically fit?
Well, I don't know in what kind of shape Sergio is, but I know Jim is in top shape, and I don't think it will hurt him if the match goes long, so I'm pretty comfortable with that.
Let's go back up to Buck Collins.
A comfortable man, Dan Hicks, is Jose Higueras, twice semifinalist here.
Well, but I think we're going to find out how fit Sergi Bruguera is. He hasn't had a tough road to the final. Certainly should have plenty left in the tank.
Well, that looks okay.
That'll work.
The 10th seed is Bruguera.
15
Ranked 11th in the world. Courier 2-2 with rank and seed.
He's not going to be 11 in the world after this tournament.
Higher. Number 5. He will be ranked.
30.
Well, here we see a good example of the disguise on Sergi Bruguera's forehand. Looked like he was going to go down the line there. In the last second, he whipped it cross court for a winner. Caught Jim Courier by surprise. Certainly didn't miss that pass by much. Looks like we're in a very, very close match here, bud.
Does have that appearance.
But a little bit unusual here that Jim Courier has more unforced errors at this point than winners.
Boom! A very strong game for Sergi Bruguera, stretching his lead to 3-1 in the third. Each has a set.
Bruguera mène par 3 jeux à 1.
If you want an example of how to hit a backhand pass on clay, here it is. Sliding into the ball beautifully and taking the ball short backswing right down the line.
And he's totally open on that stroke.
A la Jimmy Connors. That beautiful backhand stroke down the line.
Facing the net. Oh!
He's beyond open on that forehand, however.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Beyond open.
All new definition for an open forehand. Uh-oh.
He does have his second win.
Bud, that first game was clearly a big boost for him. Look at this. This is a very, very confident shot.
The opening game of the third set.
He might be able to do something on grass the way he's playing right now. Become a hardcourt player.
That opening game, Courier lost in 8 deuces. This is the third set, the 1993 French Open, presented by Coca-Cola Classic. We've been doing this tournament for a long time at NBC, 75, 76, 77, and every year since 1983, when we opened with the emotional triumph of Yannick Noah, first Frenchman to win since 1946.
What a moment, Bud, for French tennis in 1983 when Yannick Noah won the French Open title.
A tremendous booster shot that was.
Look at Bruguera's reaction here to missing this return. Absolutely. Got to be the racket's fault.
Could become a drum major. 15-30, second ball.
Here we see Jim Courier once again in this attacking mode, not wasting a whole lot of time, maybe 1 or 2 strokes to come into net. Here he comes again. Bruguera hit a higher pass than he would have liked, allowing Jim Courier an open court forehand volley winner.
30 all. And a break point. A nice soft touch return by Bruguera.
Bud, years ago, he decided he didn't have time to hit that full swinger. I think he made an excellent decision. Now he just blocks the ball back most of the time. He's had an incredible average in breaks. He's broken over 50% of the time coming into this tournament. That's unheard of in men's tennis, even on clay courts.
So Bruguera leading 3-1 with a point for 4-1. Danger spot for Courier. Danger is here as he sits down. 2 breaks behind is the champion. 4-1. 15 love. Bruguera, a service winner to Courier's backhand. And this match has taken another turn, and it's against Jim Courier. Courier seemed in control after he won the second set. 6-2. Bruguera looked fatigued.
I think, Bud, here's what you see the difference in the matches. Usually Jim Courier has more winners off the forehand than unforced error. This is incredible. 23-7 against.
Bruguera, who had gone 5 deuces to lose his serve in the set, labored through 8 deuces and broke Courier, and he was revitalized.
Was a very surprising try by Jim Courier.
Very casual.
Certainly that first game took the starch out of him a little bit. He's lost a little bit of confidence, seems a little bit more impatient. But this stroke here, I haven't seen from him before. Mid-court angle volley. You're not going to succeed on that very often.
30-15 as Bruguera steams toward 5-1.
That is a very difficult shot to try, what Jim Courier just tried to do.
It's about a yard too deep.
That's where you're in no man's land. If anything else, he might as well take in the 2 hands and take a big swing at a la Agassi.
A couple of points for a 5-1 lead for Sergi Bruguera.
Well, Sergi senses his third set's in his hands right now. Wants to put away this service game, get up 5-1, even possibly break again, because he knows Jim mentally is probably starting to prepare for the fourth set.
And it is 5-1 for Bruguera.
Well, Bud, Jim was down 2-1 to Andre a couple years back.
I guess 2 years ago.
Final, so.
Well, I don't think he's given up on this third set yet.
I don't think he's going to throw it the way you see some other players throw, but I do think he's starting to mentally prepare for this fourth set. I don't think you can see him put 110% into these next couple of games. He does want to hold serve, however, so he can get off to a good start in the fourth set. Serve first. Make Bruguera at least serve it out.
Sergi Bruguera, like one of those octopuses in the paella in Barcelona. Tentacles all over the place. He's coming in on that second ball.
This might become habit for me.
Tenth tournament for Courier. He's won 4 this year. His record 39-5. And he's 66-13 in the majors. Career Grand Slam tourneys. Well, it wasn't pretty, this attacking style of Bruguera's, but effective on the second serve.
What can you say here? He punches the ball. Nice forehand approach shot up the line. Jim trying to tire him out probably a little bit, try to lob over his head, but it wasn't deep enough.
30-15. Courier way down in the third. 1-5. Each has a set.
It's a great match to watch, trying to see what these two guys are trying to do to each other mentally. Who would have thought that Bruguera would be coming in off Courier's serve?
See if he does it again. That's
It's important for him to win this game so he can serve first in the fourth set. On top of Bruguera, the whole point, Bruguera makes a great step just to get it over. This is even a great get just to get that ball back, and Jim misses the easy volley. This one he could have put away. Now he's talking to himself a little bit. He's not happy with that.
30 all. 2 points from a 2-1 lead in sets. Bruguera. Stroke of the rally.
Well, they're both trading cross-court forehand angle shots. It ends up that Bruguera tries one too many here. It's funny, I was talking to Andre Agassi a couple months back. He had just come back from a defeat by Sergi Bruguera in Barcelona earlier this year, one of the last tournaments he had played. And he talked about how impressive Bruguera was, and he has really shown it today.
Jim Courier will sit down behind by 2 breaks. 5 games to 2 for Bruguera. Sergi Bruguera, who had never won a set from Jim Courier in 4 matches, now serving for his second. A bad volley, 15 love.
Beautiful touch there, Bud, by Sergi Bruguera.
He was totally resuscitated by the opening game of this set.
Absolutely. You don't want to get behind Sergi Bruguera in the point. He really controls the point well. Beautiful touch on the volley there.
Courier served that game. It went 8 deuces. Jim had 1 game point, but lost it on the 8th break point.
Bruguera was really starting to look fatigued at the end of that second set, beginning of the third, but to win that first game was a great boost. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Tennis, John, in this old clay pit, 225 played, and nothing settled.
Well, if you look here, Bruguera's already gone past what he's averaged for the tournament. I think that's going to help him because he hasn't had to play long matches coming in. Courier, on the other hand, has been involved in quite a few long matches already. Surprisingly loose forehand by Jim Courier there.
As the forehand unforced errors continue to mount, Jose Higueras, the ulcer, is starting to grow.
I think Jose is telling him to calm down here, take a little bit off that forehand. You don't need to go for outright winners from the backcourt. Bruguera is too quick for that.
24 unforced errors. Ace! Sergi Bruguera has 5. And he gives himself 2 set points.
Very easy looking stroke on the serve, right on the line to go to double set point. Here's a surprising stat. Bruguera with more aces than Courier. I don't think anyone expected that.
5-3. And there it goes.
C'est le troisième manche Bruguera. 6 jeux à 2.
So Papa may have raised the French champion. We're going to find out. 6-2. And so Bruguera, the leader in the match, 6-4 to 6-2. And Jim Courier, if he is to retain the title, will have to do what he did 2 years ago. Come back from 2-1 against Andre Agassi.
Well, the crowd is certainly trying to